All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I start this lesson, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And Shalom to Allah Achim and his truth and sincerity. All right, starting with the 144,000 and the 1/3, which we're fighting and hoping to be a part of. All right, and I'm coming back, Lord willing, with another short and edifying lesson. And the topic of this lesson will be a few scriptures to remember in bad times, all right, because we're coming into very bad times, all right. We're coming into evil times, all right, a time known as Jacob's trouble, which is, as the scripture says, the worst time the planet Earth has ever seen, all right. So this is scriptures to remember in bad times, which even before Jacob's trouble, in this truth, as prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord puts us through bad times to test our faith and to increase our faith. So I'm going to start in the book of Sirach, chapter 2, or Ecclesiasticus, in the Good News translation. It says, my child, if you are going to serve the Lord, be prepared for times when you will be put to the test. So this is for the hopeful elect, all right, which we are a part of. We hope that we're of the elect, okay? And we put our hand to the plow, meaning we're serving the Lord, okay? We're ministers, all right? We're servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So be prepared to be put to the test, all right? Verse 2: be sincere and determined. Keep calm when trouble comes, all right? It says be sincere and be determined, all right? Let me see what that word determined says, all right, on the Oxford, it says Oxford Therasis, it says intent on, resolute, all right? Oxford Dictionary says having a firm decision and being resolved not to change it. So we have to, be resolved not to change our decision that we embarked on, when we started to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, when we put our hand to the plow, all right? We have to be intent and determined, all right, and resolved on not changing that decision. In other words, endurance to the end. But I'll read it again. All right, verse 2, it says, be sincere and determined. Keep calm when trouble comes. All right, which is easier said than done, but it must be done, all right? Yahweh Shai is a good example of that. When it was a storm, when he was with his disciples on a ship, and there was a storm, he was asleep, all right? He was fast asleep during a terrible storm. So, that's spiritual. When the storm comes, we got to be calm, all right? Whatever that storm may be. And ultimately it's going to be, Esau coming in like a madman, all right, sparing none, all right, with his stormtroopers. Okay, the scripture speaks about when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. So we have to be calm and trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which again, like I said, easier said than done, all right, because we're in these weak bodies, all right. But that's why we have to have faith. Okay, we have to be steadfast. All right. Because in this flesh, your flesh is gonna be afraid, all right? But that doesn't mean, run away. That doesn't mean, fold under pressure. That means, just trust in the Lord, lean on the Lord, okay? To get us out of those storms, all right? It says, verse 3, stay with the Lord, never abandon him. Like I was just saying, lean on the Lord, especially when you're faced with that storm, all right? Those troubling times. It says, stay with the Lord, never abandon him, and you will be prosperous at the end of your days. All right, just like Job. Job, he went through a storm, all right? Everything was taken from him. All right, even his own health, he was covered with sores all over his body from his feet to his head, and he never cursed the Most High in his mouth, all right, with his words or in his heart, he stuck with it. He endured to the end. He said, though you slay me, yet will I trust in you. And he was increased at his last end. All right, it says, accept whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation, be patient. All right, and right now, hey, even right now, we're being humiliated. Okay, us going out on the highways and byways. The scripture speaks about the foolishness of preaching. So we have to, go through that humiliation, just like Yahushua did. He was humiliated in front of Jerusalem. In front of the whole city. People probably throwing stuff at him, throwing fruit at him, talking shit, laughing, and our people, are the biggest, shit talkers. Okay, the Israelites are the biggest shit talkers. All right, niggas will make you, question your whole existence. All right, so imagine, a whole city of Jake just mocking you. I'm speaking about Yahushua too. All right, imagine, how he felt, being beaten and battered. His flesh was cut up and torn. All right, they stripped him. Imagine how humiliating that was, man. And he was carrying a heavy cross, a heavy wooden cross. Imagine how he felt. So we have to bear our own cross. I'm not saying we're gonna have to go through what he went through, but we all in this walk, we all have our own, our own hell that we go through. We have to bear it. We have to be a man just like Yahushua was a man. Just like he girded up his loins like a man. We have to as well. All right. The scripture says the servant is not greater than his master. So it says, accept whatever happens to you, even if you suffer humiliation, be patient, because whatever happens to you, the Lord had it written in your story for that to happen to you. It says, gold is tested by fire, and human character is tested in the furnace of humiliation. That's how your character is tested, all right? And when you pass that test, it's even stronger, all right? You obtain even more character. You obtain even more, virtue. You obtain even more, even stronger mind. So that's why the Lord puts us through these things, And the tests are only going to get harder. That's why the scripture says, he that endureth to the end shall be saved. And not many are going to endure to the end. But at verse 6 it says, trust in the Lord and he will help you. Walk straight in his ways and put your hope in him. All right, we're the hopeful elect. We're prisoners of hope. We just got to walk straight in his paths, meaning, continue, to walk on eggshells, continue to do the right thing. Don't step out of line. Don't get out of order. Don't get emotional. All right, we can't get emotional as men. And it's truth, we can't get emotional. All right. Like they say, we just got to stay the course. It says, I'm going to keep reading verse 7. It says, all you that fear the Lord, wait for him to show you his mercy. Right. And there's a scripture that just popped into my mind, those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. So there's a lot of benefits to being patient and suffering and waiting for the Lord to come through for us. The Lord's going to give us the power to fly. All right. How about that? If we can stay patiently and steadfast, in the fear of the Lord, if we endure to the end, man, he's going to give us power. All right. So we got to continue to wait for him to show his mercy. It says, do not turn away from him or you will fall. We can't, there's no going back, man. There's no looking back. All right. Full steam ahead. Okay. Within reason. All right. Because the scripture says that the race is not given to the swift, but we still got to keep, running that race. This is an endurance race. All right. This is a race of endurance. Verse 8, it says, all you that fear the Lord, trust him, and he will and you will certainly be rewarded. Like I mentioned that scripture in Isaiah, I believe it's 40, if I'm not mistaken. But where is it? Isaiah 49. But it says, those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. The Lord's gonna give us spiritual power. All right. He's gonna give us ultimately he's gonna give us salvation and a new body for those that wait for him. All right. So we will be rewarded for our faith. It says, all you that fear the Lord, look forward to his blessings of mercy and eternal happiness. All right. So we have to fear the Lord as well. That's why it keeps on saying, all you that fear the Lord, which is the elect. We got to continue to fear the Lord. All right. We got to continue to wait for the Lord. All right. Like the scripture says, wait ye upon him. So I got a few other scriptures too. This next one is going to be in the book of, let me get this, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 25. It says, be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. All right, so be not afraid of sudden fear because, all right, the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be the worst time ever. All right, we know that. So we're going to be seeing a lot of things, that will make the average person, terrified, afraid. And even for us, we're, like I said, we're in the flesh. We're going to be startled, all right? We're going to be shook up about certain things. But the scripture is telling you, be not afraid of sudden fear, meaning, keep your composure, stay calm, all right? Trust in the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which that's going to make us stable, all right? Isaiah 33:6. Okay, because, there's a scripture in the Apocrypha that says, fear is the betraying of the reasoning, within yourself, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so we can't, when we see some crazy shit happening in front of us, like somebody being put to death, all right, a wild beast, tearing people up, the troops coming, because these are all things that are coming, to Babylon the Great, all right. You got the sleeper cells, all right, the troops, all right, the Gurkha troops, and what have you, all right. When we see these things, we have to remember within ourselves that this is the doing of the Lord. The Lord is doing this, all right. This is according to his prophecy, or this is according to his word, all right. So, we can't be afraid of it. But these people, they won't have that same luxury to be able to, rationalize what the hell they're going to be witnessing. All right. Like those people in that Miami mall, they had no clue what they were witnessing. All right. Those apparitions, they couldn't rationalize that. But we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, through this wisdom and knowledge, we can rationalize that. All right. We know what that is. Those are the apparitions. Those are, the spirits created for vengeance. All right. This is the time of Jacob's trouble. That's why we're going to be stable in that day. So verse 26, for the Lord shall be thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. And in the NLT it says, for the Lord is your security. He will keep your foot from being caught in a trap. All right. The Lord is going to be our security in that day. He's the one who's going to be protecting us, and he's not going to allow us to stumble and fall like he will these people in the world. I'm going to get that word for confidence. And I believe it's, I want to say Kasal. All right. Strong's H3689. Kasal. And it says loins, flank. All right. Confidence, hope. Right, because, we're going to have hope that the Lord is going to deliver us from these things that we're going to be witnessing. When that sudden fear comes, we're going to have hope that the Lord saves us out of it, whatever it may be. All right. Like that movie, I Am Legend, You know, it was a scene where a lion, you know, just jumped right in front of, you know, the main character, you know, Will Smith's character. It jumped right in front of him, but he, you know, imagine how startling that would be. But he didn't allow that to affect him, though. You know, he just got down low. He was just looking like, oh shit, but he didn't he wasn't afraid of that sudden fear. All right, you know, certain movies will show you spiritual scenes like that. All right, because the ain't you know, there's gonna be all type of situations going on. So we have to remember the scriptures. All right, and this last scripture I'm gonna get is in the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, and verse 10. It says, "For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love which ye have showed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister." So we also have to remember this scripture in times of trouble, because, you know, we have to be in that mindset of, you know, asking the Lord, like Lord, you know, please save me, because look at all the work that I did for you. You know, look at all the, you know, the videos I did for you. Look at all the sacrifices I made. All right. You know, don't forget my labor of love. And the Lord is not unrighteous to forget it. All right. We have to remember this and believe it. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister, which the word minister means to serve. Right now, we're doing a great service for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is, you know, doing his will, teaching, all right, prophesying, all right, prophesying of the coming destruction. Even before that, prophesying of, you know, the MOTB, which is the chip, all right, and we're also warning you not to take that chip when they make it mandatory, okay. So we're ministering for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. That was just a few scriptures to remember during times of trouble, and you know, once again, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakha Kudash and Shalom.